Israel is committing genocide against the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip.
I'm frustrated because on the one hand, it is still exceptionalism. It is still supremacist to only fucking say, oh, finally it's here. Now that like Israeli NGOs are also recognizing it. But also on the other hand, from the optics game, I do think that it becomes even more indefensible for many hanger-ons and many people in the margins that just simply refuse to recognize the reality up until this point. So I'll take it. It's the same thing. It's the same principle that I have because, like, on the one hand, I have to be pragmatic. Okay, I have to be pragmatic. We all have to be pragmatic, and we all have to recognize that this is a step in the right direction. It's a good thing that like the Israeli NGOs are also admitting this reality, even though it's fucking 22 months in. It will create more pressure. Having said that, make no mistake, it absolutely is Jewish supremacist and exceptionalist to overall refuse to recognize these atrocities when the Palestinians say it, okay? When the Palestinians talk about their own conditions, everybody turns a blind eye. When people like myself try to highlight the plight of the Palestinians by directly showing you exactly what the Palestinians are saying, okay, they say, you're crazy, shut the fuck up. They try to deplatform people like ourselves. Only until it's an Israeli official or only until it's an Israeli NGO that openly recognizes it 22 months in, do people go, okay, I guess it's happening. It's bullshit, you know? Terrorists, until what? B'Tselem says so? Okay. Well, you didn't give a shit when B'Tselem recognized the apartheid.
Vehemently denies.
It is baseless. There is no intent. Key for the charge of genocide.
But in a new report published by a respected medical journal, The Lancet, a group of health professionals said it was time to break the silence on genocide. Their findings, made since October 7, 2023, are damning. Life expectancy has reportedly fallen by 35 years. Gaza has the highest number of child deaths of any conflict zone, and
By the way, the very fact that many smart people still refuse to call it a genocide, even though it clearly is one, is because of the additional complications that come along with that designation, that legal designation. And that's precisely why you should keep pushing people to say it, including Bernie Sanders. Okay, that's it. Because the moment that people recognize the reality that it is a genocide, okay, is the moment where all cards are off the table. You can't deny, you can't give aid to Israel, you can't defend Israel. There's no more defending genocide. You're a genocide defender at that point. And up until that moment of recognition, you are a genocide denier. That is precisely the reason why still so many liberal Zionists, from Bernie Sanders to the J Street guy that Mehdi Hassan debated, they just refuse to recognize it. They just refuse to say it's a genocide. But just like they refuse to recognize the war crimes or the ethnic displacement or the plight of the Palestinians up until 22 months in, they will inevitably recognize that as well. So I don't understand how these guys don't even think about their own personal fucking futures, where they just kind of throw that out. They just don't realize how this looks. You look like a fucking fool right now when you say, oh, I've come to the conclusion that everyone has been on for the past year and a half. Okay, great. But now you're still trying to be a setback. Now you are still trying to present yourself as a hurdle for further initiatives to be taken to stop this bloodshed. You look like an idiot right now. You're going to look even more like an idiot and an immoral monster down the line. You already are, but people will come to that recognition.
Report concludes starvation has been relentlessly used as a weapon of war. For CBS Mornings, I'm Deborah Patter in East Jerusalem.
The level of human suffering in Gaza is intolerable.
In another major blow to Israel, Canada announcing it'll recognize a Palestinian state, citing the crisis on the ground.
By the way, the other part of the reason why people can't say fucking genocide is because if you say it's genocide, then what Ansar Allah is doing is valid and just. The Houthis in Yemen, okay? What Hezbollah is doing is valid and just in Lebanon. They're not doing anything anymore because they're done, but all of a sudden, because it is, by the way, it is, literally, and all of a sudden, what we did to stop the Houthis from trying to stop Israel's genocide, all of a sudden, we're the bad guys. You understand? We are too closely associated as a belligerent in this conflict. That's the problem.